The next up-and-coming wine region in the United States is not what I thought. Texas Hill Country. A massive area just west of Austin, Texas receives more than 1 million wine lovers a year. That makes it one of the most visited wine regions in America today. So what are the wines that pair perfectly with barbecue brisket and big skies? Well, that's what I'm here to find out. We'll dive into the background on Texas wine, it's older than you think, and why most of us haven't heard about Texas wines until now. And then I have several wines, both whites and reds, so we can taste what Texas Hill Country is all about. Covering more than 9 million acres, Texas Hill Country is the third largest American viticultural area, AVA, in the U.S. The region sits on a foundation of ancient limestone and granite, and this is a key to the wine's taste and quality. And for those who might not know, Texas Hill Country is sunny and hot, with many over 100-degree days, and normally that would spell disaster for grape growing, but you'll find more than 60 wine varieties here, and over 50 wineries alone on the Wine Road 290. So how do they do it? The secret lies in the rolling hills, with vineyards ranging from about 1,200 to 2,200 feet above sea level. And as you know, when we go up, the temperatures go down. You also won't find too many cool climate varieties here as well. This is the perfect spot for sun and heat-loving grapes. And because of that, Texas Hill Country is a melting pot for Spanish, Italian, Southern French, Portuguese wine grapes. Wine has been part of Texas history for more than 375 years. Shocker! Spanish missionaries were the first to plant mission grapes in Texas. Grapes came to Hill Country with the German settlers during the 1800s, particularly around Fredericksburg, which, by the way, is a major wine destination today. So why haven't we heard about Texas wines before? Well, the momentum really didn't pick up until wine tourism started booming. Today, Texas Hill Country has around 2,200 acres of vineyards, and it's growing. The demand is such that many producers in Hill Country make wines from both Texas Hill Country and the neighboring Texas High Plains AVA. But the big question remains, what do the wines of Texas Hill Country actually taste like? Well, it's time to learn by drinking. Now, Texas Hill Country might be known for red wines, but I cannot start this tasting without going through the white wines because they're interesting. Now, Viognier, this is definitely Texas Hill Country's flagship grape variety. And that's because it's won awards in the past. I get aromas of ripe peach, mandarin orange, honeysuckle. This wine is super aromatic, and that tracks with the region's granitic sandy soils. Those soils will make this wine very explosive on the nose. And while the aromas are big and sweet, the palate is minerally and dry. Now, Picpoul is a find. It hails from southern France, and it's definitely one of the best wines to sip poolside. This wine explodes with lemon lime, melon notes, and a little dusty seashell. And yet another white wine from Texas Hill Country that's big on the nose and light and minerally on the palate. One thing that's interesting about all of these white wines is the distinct note of salinity. They're salty. You ready to taste some red wines? Well, it's time for the main event. The red grape varieties that define Texas Hill Country: Sangiovese, Tempranillo, Mourvedre. So the thing I want to know is, how do the red wine varieties express themselves here in Texas Hill Country's climate? Well, looking at this Sangiovese, I can see a beautiful brick red color. But what I want to know is, where does Texas Hill Country lie on the spectrum? Is it more of a high-end hillside Chianti or a Brunello? While looking at this color, that beautiful brick red color that's very translucent, I'm already leaning more towards the hillside style. On the nose, you can tell these producers definitely use oak aging, but underneath that I get cherry, a little bit of tomato, and sweet marjoram. I'm surprised. The palate is maybe the best part of this wine. It's huge, massive mouth-coating tannins with this really nice, bright acidity. Exactly what I'm looking for when I'm looking for Sangiovese. Tempranillo hails from Spain and the Iberian Peninsula, and it's famous because it has such a wide variety of styles depending on where it grows. So what I want to know is Texas Hill Country more of a Ribera del Duero, bold black-fruited wine, or a little lighter and more elegant, like something you might find from Rioja Alavesa? The color is our first clue. It's not deeply opaque, it's somewhat translucent. And on the nose, I get more flavors reminiscent of plums and cherries than I do of blackberries. When you're dealing with wines grown on granitic or sandy soils, they tend to have a lighter color and more aromatics. But let's see how this does on the palate. Wow, so much tannin. So while this wine communicates elegantly on the nose, it is massive on the palate. Mourvedre hails from southern France and Spain and is loved for its big, bold black fruit flavors, leathery quality, gamey flavors, and massive, massive tannins. Let's see how it does in Texas Hill Country. Whoa. Already, just looking at the color of this wine, we see we have something very different on our hands. This wine is clear like a Pinot Noir. Oh my goodness. And I do get a slight note of green peppercorn and many savory qualities, and then I get layers of plum and vanilla. On the palate, this particular Mourvedre is layered and complex, revealing an elegant style, unlike I think I've ever had before coming from this grape variety. I was expecting to walk in here and taste a lot of big, bold fruited wines with lots of body and style, but instead, I've been tasting wines with elegance, wines with minerality, and wines with a lot of subtleties that I was not thinking would be coming from the middle of Texas. And yet, this is what's happening here. And for those who are curious, you gotta go there to find out. Find these bottles themselves, go taste them, and go check out the Hill Country vibes. If you're curious to learn more about Texas Hill Country, definitely check out Wine Folly's extensive guide, working with Christine Marsilio, our master of wine, writing up very much high-level details on the region so you can find the wines, the people, the wineries that you're into. Until next time, happy tasting, and as always, salut.